Alright, this is Town Dog, and I'm back in Flat Simulator X. We're going to try to fly another little small flight. I don't know. Pretty good little flight, though. And it's pretty complicated. Take a lot of electronics to get us there and find where we're going. But I don't have any landmarks to go by. So I have to use what I can use. And we'll be using our pop-ups, of course, to use them. I could put them on other screens, it would be in the way, but if I do that, then you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Anyway. This is it right here. We're leaving out from a little airport called Over the Hill. I've heard of the Over the Hill Gang. I guess that's where they're from. This is a little airport called Over the Hill in South Carolina, I do believe it is. We'll be going south out of here, or anywhere from 235 to south in that direction. We'll be picking up a VOR called Columbia. And the ID that VOR is CAE. The VOR is 11470. It's a high altitude. We'll leave the outleg radio on that of that airport on that runway. I get right on that VOR on about 145, and we'll be going to another VOR. That first one is high. The second VOR is low. I remember that. Maybe I mark it on here too. I ain't got it marked on here. I need to keep up with it myself too. This is my pen. There it is. Anyway, the VOR low is 11040, and we'll be leaving it on a radio of 075. We'll fly 075. Pick up an NDB, which may be on as soon as we get there. In fact, half of it will be on time we leave, but I'm not going to use them until I get there. And we'll pick up the NDB out of there, and I didn't write down the NDB number. Okay, I gotta go back and get that. That was smart, wasn't it? Everything but the number. The number is what I gotta have. So I guess we'll go back right here on screen and get that. Go back to the map and go to where it is right over here. Well, somewhere over here. Going from here to here, and here it is right here, and right here where we're going. The NDB is, oh, I forgot to get the numbers. It's 3810. That's what I have to know. NDB 381.0. Okay. That's what we have to get there. We'll be going to that NDB. The airport at that NDB is Santee, S-A-N-T-E-E, CooperRegl, and the ID is KMNI. It's got two runways, 12 and 120. Of course, 2 is 020 roughly, and 20 is roughly 200 degrees. Altitude is 103. Now that is our little flight for today. If we can get there and not crash this thing, we're doing good. And we'll probably use the autopilot a lot and go by a lot of electronics so we can find it. But without them, I wouldn't know how to find it anyway. So that's how it goes. Now I'm gonna turn this thing around here where I can see. Now I'm running it today without the wheel pants or the collar. It looks a little different that way. There we go, right there. I'm looking for the pitot heat tube. There it is right there. We're going to take the pitot heat tube. It's on the far side of the plane on the last strut. The pitot heat tube, we're going to take the cover off it. Got it, put it in my pocket. Now I'm going to go down here at the bottom. I'll jerk these shocks off from under here. These shocks. Then I'm going to reach up there and untie these tie downs and get them off, put them up. And then I'm going to take the seat cover off the seat. There we go. She's ready to roll. I got to get in, get her fired up. I have to get my buddy out here somewhere to help me fire it up today. Just got to have somebody pull it over for me. Well, I think this thing got a start on it though. Anyway, this one does. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna me in the seat. And then I'm going to let the other man crank me up before he gets in. Go to the 2D cockpit. Whoa. There we go, right there. Now in the 2D cockpit, let's see if we can get this thing on, lit up. Turn these two on. Turn the fuel on. Mixture up. Turn magnetos on. And here's the starter button right here. Contact. Uh-oh. I didn't check the fuel. I ain't got current yet, so I can't check it yet. Maybe I'll top off my fuel. They don't fuel pump here, so I'll do it another way. We got 300 something pounds. That should be gallons here. Oh, give me a kilo. Oh, what'd it give me? There we go, right there. 59 gallons. I don't know how much it holds, but I better make sure it's full. Make sure we don't run out of fuel before we get there. I don't have no idea how far this thing goes or nothing. So let's go back to the fuel line and we'll take care of that. Go back here. Have that man bring out a couple of jugs and fill this thing up. Let's see what we can get out of it. We're gonna go change fuel, and we're at 90%. Sit idled all night. That's where I knew I was gonna be down some. That'll fill him up right there. Thank you for the jugs. I'll bring them. Carry me an extra one in the back, and I'll give it back to you later. I'll let my wing walker pour it in while I'm flying if I have to. Here we go. Now we got that ready to go. We got everything on that'll come on. We don't want smoke on us, what that was. We don't want smoke. Not yet anyway. I ain't ever sitting on this plane right anyway. Here we go. Now we got everything on that we want. Avionics is ready to be turned. All you gotta do is start to move them, they'll come on. There you go, yeah. Should have came all the way on, but they don't do it on this one for some reason or another. But anyway, we got that. Everything's ready to go. Let's get this thing out of here and find us a runway. Here we go. Now we're sitting too close to the building, so guess I could let my other man get in here with me. Let's get the other man in the front seat. There we go. Now we got him ready to go. He may have to get up here and look around, find us some waypoints. We can't find anything. I think he knows the way, I don't. So we use VORs or let him point us. I don't know which. Anyway, here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing pushed back away from here. We're going to push back a little bit away from this building. Here we go. Back him up. Go back up on if our wing won't bump him. When we turn around. Come on back here. I need to readjust my lights on the wings. They're not right. I haven't adjusted them since I put them on, I don't think. If I put them on, they might have already been there. It's got the regular lights. It's got the ones I put on the ceiling. They're not in line. I meant to add them lights top and bottom. I hadn't done it. Anyway, see if we can get this to the runway. It's over here. I don't know which way the wind's out of. Uh-oh, I got me a phone call. Let's see what this is all about. I'll be right back. That's some idiot. Nobody said a word. They think I'm an idiot. Ooh. Anyway, let's see if we can find any of that runway right there. It is. Like I said, we're going to leave it out on heading up sort of south, but we'll see it on the runway. We'll stop and set up our electronics, so we got to do that. Don't we got no idea where we're going. Here's our runway right here. It's a little grass strip we're on. Now, we're going to lock the brakes, and then we're going to get our radio stack out. And like I said, I'll be leaving here going to a radio 11470 first, so we're going to take this right here, make it 4, and that's 70. That's good. Put it active. Make this right here 7. Oh, 4. I'm wrong. 4 and then 7. And then active. Alright, both of them active at the top. And our second BOR we'll be looking for was going to be 110, which we'll set it up and in standby. We'll have it ready. 110 40. There we go. 1040. There we go. Now both of them standby, ready to go. Now our first 2 legs are already set up in here. We want to move out on heading south, so we're going to put the autopilot up here. And south would be 180. It's just something to go by to look at right here. Well, if we fly it, we'll have to have it also. Go 180 first. And let's put this on 180 also. I want this on runway heading right now though. That's the heading I'm sitting on. And we're going to set this on about 110. 110, 115, something like that. We use all the throttle. I know this plane's not supposed to have it, but it does, so we're going to utilize it. I'll get it right in a minute. Well, somebody jumping too many. Alright, right there, we get, let's go with 110. I'll really have that. 110 right there. Now we're ready to put it in the air. There's a cockpit right there. Let's see if we can get him in the air. See if we can get him in the air from here. Get the nose down. Here we go. As soon as it goes down, she'll fly. Alright, she's in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the autopilot. I'm going to come around south as soon as it starts flying good. Whoa, whoa, something wrong here. What's this doing? What's that doing going down? That's sure. Oh, I see 1 or 2. I just said altitude. That was stupid. Tried to crash me all of a sudden. Like, let's go to about 5,000. Oh, let's stay a little low. I don't know how tall anything is around here, but I'm going to say 3,000 there, most of it. About 3,500 be alright for now. Now let's turn this thing south. From here, we're going to bring up some more radio equipment. Now see, we've already got over here on the left, the yellow arrows. That is our both radio stacks has got the signal already on, and it's let's see how far it is. If it's got any DME. 24 miles to that DME. What I'm going to do is going south. It's going to be to my right. I won't actually fly to it. I'm going to get a little closer though. This isn't going to be too far over. I'm going to go a little further back around that way. I'm going to come back around here till I'm going to bring. I don't want to be out too far and miss the other VOR because it'll be behind me when I pick it up. So I'm going to come around here to. That's too much. I think 21 won't be bad. 210. I'm going to hit about 210. Then I'm going to set that so if I fly out there and hit that radio, it'll turn itself. Now what I'm going to do, when we're already in the air, we're headed out this way. I can get outside the plane so we can see. Let me get a little distance on this view. Here we go. And up this way. Now I can bring equipment back up. And That's the reason I got these pop-ups out there so I can do it outside and watch the scenery and do everything I need to do. So 22 miles off the VOR, but I won't go to it. I'm going to fly past it on the east side. This is pointing west of me. The nav 2 is the green arrow on the right is pointing west of me by about 20-30 degrees. We'll be flying east of it as we go southerly direction. And we'll pick it up and turn out. Now, what I can do now is under the radio stack. Whoop, we don't need that. We ain't going to use that right now. Maybe not at all. All right, now the radio stack, which is right here, we can check and see if this other one is on. It probably is the way it looks. It is on, but we're going to wait till we get down there to do what we said we were going to do. Instead of going straight to it, we're going to wait till we get to the radio out. It is on our right by a small amount. By changing nav 2 over, needle is pointing. See, if I went south, I've been almost on the VOR, and I don't want to be that close. It's to my right, south, east by 15 degrees, so off of south. But anyway, by me going back a little bit to the west, it'll help me get more room to maneuver it. Now we're going to do that one. And I'm sure my NDB would be on too, but I'm not even going to use it yet. We're going to fly this by electronics like we set it up. That way we won't get lost. I hope. I don't think we will. Now here we go out here. We're going to fly this little trip into, we're going to end up in Santee and Cooper, and we'll set the sound on the runway. Whichever runway we decide we get there, we'll probably pick the closer one. I'll try to, I'll put that away. Anyway, let's see what we get going here. Now this time I said I was going to leave the second radio, so I was going to leave that VOR on about 145, so let's get that now. I thought we're going to leave that radio, so I'm going to leave the radio, the high altitude radio 1170 on 145 and pick the other one up. Oh, 170 and then 145. Yeah, 145 and then 170. Oh, 70. We'll go 145 into, oh, I got confused there. We'll leave VOR 11470 to VOR 11040 on a rough heading of about 145. And that's what I got the autopilot set up on. It'll turn itself when I get to the radio and start over there. At that point, I can start looking for the next VOR, and if I miss the direction, it'll tell me, so I want to turn. The two autopilots will argue with each other enough I'll know the difference. At that point, nav 2 becomes the boss. Gotta fly nav 2 after I make a turn, because that's where the second one will be at. Which we'll switch nav 1 to the same numbers what we do. We're 15 miles away from the VOR, which we're not going to it. We're going to be flying past it. What we can do is go back to here. There's no airport there in front of me. All right, there's the VOR's off to my right. It's set off the other side out there. It's not on the airport. It's the airport right here is what it's with. But it's off out there to one side, 15 miles. I didn't even consider that airport there as being part of what we're going on. Just going by the VOR and the numbers. Make this little flight here this morning. I hadn't got time to do much. I thought I'd do this. Got to get out and work. I changed and put a belt back on the mow, sharpen the blade, start mowing today. Even though I got paint started, I let it sit. I got to turn the heater off. It cost me money to run the heater. I run it all night to dry the paint, but it shouldn't need it no more. Over there, turn it off, come back. Check and see what it looks like. May want to touch up while I'm over, but I ain't planning on it. Depending on the looks of it. And I still got to do the cut in. Check the corners for being painted good, and my trim areas around the trim. Make sure everything's right, but I'll be doing that later on. I got to do some more today. Can't do both, I don't think. There's only one of me, and me don't stretch very far. My age slowed me down. I come in last night, I was dead tired. I couldn't even walk. Got in that chair and flopped down and stayed there for quite a while. But I got feeling a little better. I got up and come in here on the computer a little bit. But I didn't do a video. Didn't nobody come in and do anything, so I stayed on Facebook most of the night looking around. Get up and turn a fan on. There's a little one in my house. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Get this thing in here. We're 12 miles off the BOR. It's coming around on the right hand on the nav 1 green needle, nav 2 green needle is coming around. It'll line up with the one on the left, the yellow one, in reverse. And when it does, we'll be turned and headed into the other BOR. We'll actually pass the way we're going and start getting further away before we get to the radio. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, I'm flying a little plane today without any wheel pants or collar. Makes it look a little more wicked. This little plane, I like this little plane pretty well. I've had it a while, flew it a few times. Of course, this is FSX Steam Edition. I'm in multiplayer, I think. I'm supposed to be in multiplayer. I had to check today. Yep, ain't nobody in but me, but I'm in multiplayer. Anyway, running a multiplayer server. There'll be people in it after a while. If they can get in it, they'll be in it. As always, 5 or 6 comes in, or I've had high as 20 in, I think. 15 or 20, 2 or 3 times I've seen. Usually at least 1 or 2 in. I left it down 24, 48 hours before I put it back up so people missed it. They didn't. They come in looking for it, if they don't see it, they don't come back looking for it too quick. But I think I got 2 or 3 that come in all the time, so they look for the farthest server. And others just stagger up on it and find it. Alright, we're almost parallel the airport. The airport's 10 degrees from 15 degrees from my right wing. Now 2 on the right hand side, green needle. When it gets lined up with that gold needle, that's when it's exactly parallel my wing on the right. And the further I go, the further that green arrow comes around. in this direction. We're 10.3 miles out. We won't get much closer. We'll pass by it about 10 miles out. As soon as we make a turn, we'll switch VORs. Let's start working the other VOR and tuck back toward the NDB. I haven't set the NDB up yet, so let me set it up. NDB or ADF, NDB, same thing. Okay. We got this set up 381. So we're going to bring this down to 3. 8. 1 right there. There we go. Now it's set up. Alright, it is on. Now we can no longer use it for a parallel thing. It just came on, so I knew it would be, but I'm not going to go to it yet. I'm going to fly my VORs around. I could go from here straight to it, actually. It don't give you no distance, but it's under 40 miles, it wouldn't be on. It's actually not much farther away than the next VOR. We'll fly north of the next VOR, just barely. Keeping the NDB on our north side and our VOR on our south side. Split the difference, go between them. Now the NDB won't fly the plane. I have to prepare the real radial I want to go in and get on it. I really need to go in on a radial of either 020 or we'll be on 75. We'll probably go in on 020. So we'll turn 75 out going up our to it. I think, yeah, 075. But then we'll try to work our radial around to get it on runway heading. So when we come in, we'll be closer to the runway. Won't look for it so hard. We're 10.7, so now we're leaving the VOR 11470. We're leaving it now, but we still haven't picked the radial up yet, so we got to pick the radial up back a turn. The radial is going to be, it's another 20 degrees, several miles. Be a few miles yet this way before we turn, more likely. The green needle on the right hand side has to point at about, well, our needle is moving now, so it means we're getting ready to turn, so it don't matter about the rest of it. But we're fixing to make this turn. The yellow needle is one fixing the line, so it means we're going to turn. The VOR is set to turn. I'm going to go ahead and take nav 2 and put it over here. Put the, it's turning me on. Those two radios are not coming together. Well, that's right, it don't always. Now we have made the turn. We're going to set the heading now on the 145. Come on back around 145. It went the wrong way around, but it's alright. As long as we get there. Now, I'm not going to worry about being dead on line. I'm pretty close, though. I'm going to turn the heading 145. And we're 12 miles off that VOR. We're going to change now 2 over. We're always 26 miles off the VOR. I was looking at the wrong radio. Now we're going to work our way. Let's just turn this to bring us straight in. Oh, come on, turn the right way. When that needle lines like that right there, you can turn this on. It'll go straight to the VOR. I was off about 15 degrees on that direction from where I said I wanted to go to and where I actually had to go to, but either one would have got me close enough to pick it up, even if it had been further away. That's all I was after. Now we're going to leave this one, so we have came around here now to where we're lined up pretty good, so we'll go bring this around to 126, which is the same as what we're flying now. We're going to set the heading bug back on, and we're going to go ahead and turn this around to 075. and we're going to fly between on nav 1, the green arrow, and the gold arrow. I need to fly between them two, so I'm going to bring us over here a few more degrees. Or at any point the gold needle gets around to 020, which is, I don't think it'll ever get that far. If it ever gets around to 020, we'll turn in on the gold needle. Well, I was going to go to this VR and turn out on a heading of 075, but I don't have to do that. At this point, we can switch over to the gold, to the NDB, which will be runway heading anyway. It is on. We fly our VOR between the VOR and the NDB, closer to the VOR to give us more time to work it. Well, you are way more time you got to work it when you get there. And we are 21 miles off the VOR. It is to our right by 5 degrees or so in front of us. Check the scenery a little bit. Alright. If a gold needle on the nav 2 on the right hand side, the gold needle, if it comes around to 020, we want to get on it. If not, we can actually fly on through till we get 020. Instead of getting closer, we're going to be pretty close anyway. I don't know how far though, it don't tell you. I'm gonna go a few more degrees to the, I'm gonna go 5 more degrees to the north. That's 5, or what was that? I'm not sure I went 5 or 10, I think. Well, let's call that. Let's just fairly well right there. We'll call that. Now, as long as the gold needle's on the north side of my front, I think I went too far. 115, let's try that right there. I think I jumped to 10 when I go to the 5. I forgot what I was going to start with, so. But on nav 2 on the right hand side above the DME, the green needle is the VOR and the gold needle is the airport DME. And we're flying straight between them, almost down the middle. But we got to hit the gold needle on a heading of 020 to go into the runway 2. We're going to leave our nav 2 set, but we don't want to turn. Or if we do turn, as soon as we turn, we'll double right back. As long as it don't pass, the gold needle will be alright when it turns. If it passes it, we have to go back the other side properly. We can actually go out a different radio if we have to find what we're looking for. We're going to start with radio 075. That's the one that would get me to the DME if I hadn't have found it. But since I already have it, it doesn't matter anymore. All this is a tight quadrant of area, and it's don't give me no whole lot of chance to miss it. If it'd been 100 miles or so between each one, then it'd been a little different story. It's also been a longer flight, and I ain't got that kind of time, so gotta get out here and do some things here in just a few minutes. Drinking a couple of cups of coffee while I'm sitting here to eat my breakfast. I done that. One sausage, egg, and biscuit, Mr. Jimmy type, a glass of water, and a cup of coffee. And a banana. That's about every morning. Whenever I hit the floor, whether it be 4 o'clock in the morning or noon, that's my breakfast. quick, easy. Nobody has to bother but me. I can do it myself and get through with it. Took my medicine this morning, which is not a lot. For a 71-year-old, I only take 3 pills. 3 different pills. 4 counting the vitamin. In the morning I take a blood pressure, an aspirin, which is for blood pressure also, and 2 vitamin D's. And at night I take a cholesterol about between 6 and 8 o'clock, if I think of it. If not, I take it whenever I do think of it. It's hard to remember at night. For me, I got a little box, but I don't usually have it tabbed. When I do, I fail to go to it, same thing. We got a lake coming up. So we get across that lake, they'll get their feet wet. And the rest of us too. What did I see out there? So I thought I saw a little airport off to my right wing there, just about even with me. A little grass strip. The 2 airports are splitting polar apart about the same amount of speed. The 2 needles are getting polar apart, but we're staying closer between them. In fact, I think we're closer to the DME, and I want to be a little bit further back. So I'm going to go back another 3 degrees or so to the south or east. South, yeah. Just to keep that green needle and the yellow needle about split center. That's all I'm doing. My target is to be between them somewhat center when I turn into the NDB. But once I pass once the NDB passes 030, then we start moving away from it somewhere along there. And once we start moving away from it, we'll work our way around into 020, which is our runway heading, and then fly it in. I don't know how far it is over to it, but it's somewhere in about that direction right there. There's the airport out there somewhere. I don't see it, but it's out there. Somewhere out in here. I don't see it yet. It could be further than we think. It's at least under 40 miles. That's all I can tell you at this point. It's under 40 miles. Because if it was over 40, in FS6 you wouldn't pick up the signal. It goes off at about 40 miles. Wasn't known that 075 would be our heading to it. Off of the VOR2 11040, but since it is on, we don't have to worry about that. Now we're facing across this big old lake, river, whatever. It's a lake, I think. It stops. Maybe a river to it. I didn't look. I'm recording. tell her she's sitting down. She turned the music on and stuff. Preachers comes through my headset. Don't mind hearing them, but I don't need them on the video. They get my video kicked off. It's happened one time already. The bridge across the lake. We're not going to try to land on it today. I didn't drag my wheel in the water, did I? Alright, the airport on the right has moved around further. Or have I just lost the signal? It's moved around further, so I can actually turn a little further this way. Let me turn myself around to the south a little bit again. I'm just trying to maintain distance on the airport. The two needles on the nav 2, I like to stay halfway between them as long as I can at this point. And I'm starting to get closer to the airport than I am from the VOR. Because I'm moving away from it, one reason that's good enough. I don't have to turn no more. I'm not moving away yet though. I haven't got past the big end of it yet, so I might have been at that point till I turned and it's brought it back around. Right here should be good enough. We shouldn't have to worry about that no more. Now we need the actually nav 2 right now is almost exactly where we need to be. But it's the right direction, but the airport's not there. The airport's still off to the east of it, so let's keep moving. I'll bring it gold needle down to
User joined your channel.
hello, and I am recording.
No, I just thought I'd stop in and tell you that the pilot's list is working again.
All right, thank you.
And the route map is on the profile.
Okay.
What else was I going to tell you?
I don't know.
Have you filed the power up today?
No, I probably won't. I've got too much to do. I'm flying a little flight on video. I'm going to hang it up and get out of the house.
Okay. Well, I tried working on that. It's taken a minute or so to file, but I didn't test it last night, so I don't know what managed or not.
All right. Appreciate that.
All right. Well, I'm a little busy myself, so.
Okay.
User disconnected from your channel.
Mr. Vince come in, let him know he worked on the website. He's the only one who knows how to do it in our group. It's his site, actually. The whole thing's his. We just sort of manage our part and try to keep him out, have it do more than he has to. All right, we are now passing the VOR. Our leg was going to fly out. We just passed it, and we're in line with almost in line with the ADF, which that's what it's supposed to be. Really, that shows me I only missed it by about 5 degrees or so. That ain't bad for a direction off the map. Anyway, with what I had to work with. Now, someday I may have an in-house camera be able to show what I do, but it's very simple-minded. It's not something fancy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. All right, get this. Now, what I'm working on now, I've done passed a regular on the nav 2, so now I got to bring the ADF gold needle around to 020, which is the first large dot after it passes the 3 going toward the 0 on the gauge up there on the right, nav 2, where the gold and green needle's at. That gold needle's got to pass that 3 and come down to that first large dot or line. At that point, I need to be flying straight toward the airport. I don't know how far it is, but it's under 40 miles. I'm going to keep it at least 10, so I have no idea where it's at. I don't know if I can see it or not yet. I could look and see if I might be able to spot it. I don't think I can, though. It's all in that area now. There is something right yonder flashing. Sure enough. That could be it. Flashing right yonder. I think it is it. I don't know. It's that air waterway there. I'm not sure. Could go back and look, see. I think it's on the edge of the waterway, I think, though. Almost sure it is. I'm going to go back to the map just a minute. Yeah, that's it, right there on the edge of that waterway. Yes, that's it, right on the edge of that waterway. That's what I thought. Take that chart out and look at it right quick. That is it flashing over there on the left, just under that. To the right of nav 2 and under it. It ain't flashing now, but it was. It's a runway heading sign. But in order to hit the runway, I need to have the gold needle. I can turn this way some though now. The gold needle is now 030, so I can come all around right now. So but it won't take it long to get to where it's going now. Let's go to that there, 060 for now. And we've got to get the gold needle down to the next large dot from where it's at. It's almost there. 5 degrees is all we like being right. We're close enough, really. The time I turn, I may actually be there. I'm going to come around another 10 degrees. Another 10. 040 with like 20 degrees being online. There's the airport right yonder. We bring this thing down. I don't know, the altitude was 100 something feet, so we can get out to 1,200 or so, 1,000. Let's go down to 1,000 feet. Slow down to about 70 knots. Now, arrow is online, coming around to 020. Right there. Headed down. The gold needle is on 020 and pointed straight to the top. Means I'm headed to my airport on runway heading. If everything goes like it's supposed to, the runway will be there. If it don't, they lied to me, not me lied to you. I move this to 020, which don't matter no more. It's not going to line because it's not the same marker. I'll go to 65. She went to idle. Come kind of falling. All the throttle throttled off. Coming into our airport. Coming across this lake and coming down. We could have, I guess, found the lake and flew the channel. But I didn't mark it that way. I marked it electronically, and that's what we've done. But we have found it electronically. That is it. All I got to do is get on the ground. Now, this runway will not be, possibly not straight in front of me, but I'm on the right direction and right out of the airport. That helps a lot. You don't have to be going around the airport and circling the land. You know where it's at. You know where you're headed. So I think I already see the runway. But it could be left or right about a few hundred yards or a quarter mile even, depending on where the ADF was located. I didn't look. ADF could probably locate on approach on one of the runways, but not necessarily. I didn't look, so I don't know. Didn't matter because I'm gonna find the runway in here and go from there. Do it my way, and I don't need to know where it's at. It helps to know, but you don't need to. Let's get this thing down to 1,000 before we run out of distance. Should get in there now. See the runways in front of me, and almost perfect. You couldn't ask for it much better. I'll get ready to turn the autopilot off in a minute. This time I gotta have an extra button because I gotta turn the altitude off too. Usually I don't have to turn the altitude off. Level off there. Come on, level off now. There it is right there. Throttle pick back up. We should fly right on in there. Oh, the airport is 100 something feet above sea level. And we're 1,000 feet. That gives us 900 or less. Drop another 100. And another 100.
User joined your channel.
Which way to go?
Right there is. I'm recording. I'll be through in a minute. Vince just come in. He said he fixed one or two of them problems. Though he wasn't sure about the power-up ship. He didn't test it. He's safety about the guy, but he didn't test it.
Okay.
He said the rest of it's working on that part. Headed down. Watch me crash this thing. Come on. Quit that action silly. I knew I was going to do it wrong. Hard to see out of this thing. If I stayed outside, it'd been a lot easier. Anyway, here we go. Get back out here and park this thing. We're going to call it a day. Here we go. Let's go with this fuel station, top fuel off. No, I think I'm going to leave it empty. We'll top it off later. However much it's got, I don't know what it's got. We'll check before we cut it off. Pull on this side and park it. There we go, right there. Get back inside the plane. And we shut this thing down. I'm going to start by pulling the mixer down. That'll shut him off. Cut the fuel off. Electricals off. And shut the magnetos off. There we go, right there. Everything is off. Now we'll get outside the plane. Let's get around on one side. Let's passenger get out first. He's out, and I'm gonna get out, and I'm gonna tie this thing down. Starting with, start with the tie downs and the wheel chocks. And then we're gonna put the pilot cover on, the PD heat cover on. There we go. We got everything covered up, ready to go. I put our wheel pans back on. Whoop, that ain't the wheel pans. That's the man on top. Look, he's checking for leaks up there. He's all right. We're gonna put the column back on, the wheel pans back on. There we go, right there. There we go. That's got it for now. But it's gonna be it for now. It's a town dog. I'm gonna be going bye-bye, and I'll catch y'all later. We'll fly another flight, drive a truck, do hunting. We'll do something next few days. I've just got so much going, I don't have time to do it all. I'll catch y'all later. I'm gone.